Hello, Apso family. My name is Raisa, and welcome to another episode of our Wellness Wisdom series. As I have said before, we are back from a swing in the summer, and we're back with new interviews and definitely some new authors. So, today we're going to be talking about how to go from chaos to confidence with an international confidence expert, Jen Grosso. Woohoo! Let's give her a hand. Hello, Jen. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to speak to your group and your universe of the world.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me here today. So, one thing that we always do on the shows, we always ask, who are you and what do you do?
I am an international coach and consultant and speaker, and I work with entrepreneurs and executives who are high performers and are out there doing amazing things in the world. But I provide them with base level support when their world starts shaking up just a little bit and they find themselves in a little bit of chaos.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And, as we're talking about this baseline of chaos, where do you see chaos happen the most in these working environments?
Chaos can show up in so many forms for a high performer. These are people who are really playing at the edges. They are out there attempting to do really extraordinary things in the world. They've worked with, like I said, entrepreneurs and executives, but even athletes and actors, and they usually have extremely big goals. And so they're out there managing, doing an awful lot of things at once, trying to create these beautiful things, whether it's within a corporation in the C-suite, whether it's within their own business, or playing on a field, or acting on a stage or before a camera. And when you are chasing extraordinary goals, oftentimes, the world can pull the rug out from under you, or things come up that are very, very unexpected. And what I have found is it doesn't matter how successful someone is at the moment, or they have been throughout their life and in their career, they can have moments that start to shake their confidence. And having proven methods and ways to work through that process so they can get themselves back into the game as quickly as possible is really important for their sustainability and continuing on that road to success.
Oh my gosh, I agree with you 100% there, especially in terms of it doesn't matter how successful you get, there are going to be those moments. And I just also want to say hello to some of our viewers. We have Lizzie here. She says, "Hello, beautiful ladies." Hello, Lizzie. How
Well,
are you?
so excited to see you.
Awesome. So Jen, as we're talking about these moments of success and kind of these confidence moments, how do you get back into that confident moment? Is it something that you build yourself back up to? Is it something that happens in an instant? What is one of your strategies from, chaos to confidence?
Yeah, chaos to confidence is really a model that I developed over time in order to understand that confidence isn't just something that you're born with. It's not a genetic trait. It's not something that you have or you don't have. It's really something that's more on a spiral. It's something that has levels to it. And so you can move your way up the confidence spiral, and you can move your way down the confidence spiral depending upon what circumstances are coming in at you. And so I look at it very first at its base level, at the body level. So we look at it, we look at the mind body component, and we start with the body. What level of stress someone is under at a particular moment can radically impact the amount of confidence that they feel in the moment and their ability to take action. So I start by teaching my clients some tools that they can use in the moment when dealing with a chaotic moment. Requires that they act fast and that they access their confidence on a biological level. And I call that biohacking confidence. And it's something that everyone can learn to do. And once they understand what it is, they understand the tools, they can put it into practice. Because confidence is, again, it's not just something that you are or that you have, it's something that you practice on a regular basis. You make building your confidence a habit.
I love that. Oh my gosh. How did you build your own confidence and like what was the journey from there?
Oh, well, way back before I became a consultant and I started working with these amazing people, I was an attorney in big law. And I felt extremely young and like an imposter when I first came out of school, but I had to play in some pretty big environments, including the New Jersey Supreme Court and getting before judges and speaking and presenting when I didn't feel like I really was supposed to be in the room necessarily, even though I had done really well in school and I had lots of things on my resume to support where I was. And so at that time, I didn't even realize that some of the things that I was doing to calm myself down and to get myself amped up and ready to go, to present myself well, was part of what would develop my program later moving forward. And what I did was, once I was charged with helping other attorneys, I started mentoring other attorneys back in 1998. No matter how intelligent they were, no matter what they knew, at at the base level, a lot of them were just struggling with feeling confident enough to do what they were trained to do. And so I used to have to go in and build that foundation up. And so anytime I find myself, I'm much better at noticing the awareness of there's something new to do, something's going a little bit wrong. I go back to my body, my breathing, and getting myself to a much better state in my body so that I can manage my thoughts better, which is one of the next parts of the chaos to confidence model, so that then I can access all of the experience that I have and the strategy that I have to move forward.
Right. Okay. And there's so one thing about looking at that biohacking confidence there as well. If we are to categorize some being in stressful moments as saying as say it's anxiety or they're having a panic attack, when you get out of that anxiety, do you go straight to that confidence, or how do you differentiate from this is a situation I can handle versus this is something I can't really wrap my head around, I'm not breathing properly? Where are the differences in that?
Yeah, so the first step really is that self-awareness. It's about knowing yourself really clearly and knowing how bad is the situation. And what you're talking about too is a full-blown panic attack is something that, where really someone can't catch their breath and they're really in a state of heightened arousal. It's
Mhm.
really getting them grounded. And especially, for someone who really suffers from panic attacks, one of the things that I tell them to do is they need to get expert help with a therapist for sure to address those issues. But in the moment, we can also use our breath. I give them some breathing techniques that can be used in a situation where they can hide it. So if they happen to, they don't want to show that they're feeling very anxious, how they can hide their breathing technique that will instantly lower their stress hormones. Most of the biohacking confidence methods are really related to your hormones. It's about reducing the adrenaline spike that you have, if it's too high, and making it so that you're in a freeze state or that you're feeling physical symptoms like you're breathing very, very heavy, your heart's beating. A lot of people describe their chest feels heavy, things
Right.
like that, their hands are shaking. So it's what can you use? So we use a quick tool to help them breathe and calm down. It's usually a 2 quick breaths through the nose and then a longer breath through the mouth. And I teach them, when they work with me, how to do that where you can't even tell that that's what's happening. And really 4 cycles of that is shown to radically reduce cortisol and get you into a much better state of mind so that you can assess, are you able to move forward in this situation? What you said in that second part was, is this something I can handle? Sometimes you just need the frame of mind and to be in a calm enough state. You don't have to be perfectly calm. You don't have to be like you're sitting in Bali, like in the lotus position and perfectly zen. You just have to be calm enough to make an excellent decision moving forward. And that's sometimes being confident enough to ask for help.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. I think, in terms of seeing that, a lot of people don't ask for help and they kind of like put themselves in situations where, again, they have to force themselves to be in that kind of frame of mind just to get through that situation. When working with so many different entrepreneurs, I think you've worked with competitive athletes and celebrities. what is the most common thing that you find in their confidence? Like, where is their confidence leak?
Their confidence leak? Well, it really depends on the person and what they have going on in their life. But what really shakes someone's confidence across the board is something they didn't see coming. It's the blind spot. It's the
Mm,
unexpected that they feel like hits them from the side of the face. And it's almost like getting knocked off your footing. And how do you then gather yourself and get back onto solid ground? And uh, and very often people believe that someone who's very fully confident is always confident all the time,
mhm,
and they're always fully confident at a mastery level. One of the things I work with all of these people is, no matter how you present yourself to the outside world, even if you are the CEO of a very large corporation, it's okay for your confidence to ebb and flow in various situations, and for them to look at, all right, where are they most likely to get something that's going to come from the outside, to be a little bit more aware of what might come from the outside that may affect their ability to move forward. And also, again, what do they do when something does surprise them? It's that element of surprise that often throws people off.
mm. Makes sense, makes sense. It is the morning time as well. Well, over here it is for me, 11 AM. Is it the same morning for you as well?
I am. I'm not far from New York City, so I'm also in the Eastern time zone. Yeah, so it's still
Oh.
still like later morning here. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I guess for our morning viewers, Jen, as a confidence expert, what do you do in the morning? What is the confidence strategy for the sunshine and the sunrise?
Absolutely. Well, one of the most important components to being confident is well-being and wellness. And so having a confidence practice that begins in the morning begins right away with your well-being. And so I was talking about having a breathing practice for when you're not feeling confident, you're really, really stressed and anxious. The best time to practice those breathing patterns is when you aren't shaken, when you aren't anxious, so that it
Mm,
comes to you a lot easier. So when I wake up in the morning, I wake up very early. I have a morning routine that I stick to pretty much universally, and it includes that breathing practice so that I can harness that anytime that I need it. It also includes movement. Movement in the form of exercise has a lot to do with your testosterone and your cortisol levels, and as well as some other hormones as well, like dopamine and serotonin. And all of those impact your ability to be confident, or how confident you can be in the moment. And so, including movement first thing in the day, this can be as simple as a walk, is really important. But making sure that you're moving early on in the day is part of developing your confidence. But it's not just in your body, it's also in your mind. And so when you are breathing, I do also do hydrate and early morning sun as well. That also
mhm.
helps boost you. So I love an early morning walk, and I sometimes prescribe for my clients what I call the confident walk. And it's in the morning. They combine, not only they try to get as much done as possible. These are busy people who have a lot going on. So we try to do the movement, the sunshine, and the breathing all together while also managing their thoughts. And so they identify what are some mantras or some thoughts about what they've got going on in their life, and along with their goals, and they repeat them in a mantra like way as they're walking. And so moving forward in light, in sunlight early in the morning while you're breathing, and saying the words to yourself that are and it can be as simple as, I am confident, I can handle anything, I've got this is not a problem, I know what to do, I know who to ask if I need help. All of those kinds of things, if they keep those thoughts present in their mind while they're combining them with breathing and movement and in sunlight, it's really a beautiful way to start your morning.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And you said you weren't, you're a little bit close to New York City, right? When
Yes.
you have to, I don't know if this is a little too personal, but are you around a lot of city life by any chance?
I used to be around city, like many people, I was around city life more
Mhm.
often in the past. And so now I have to purposely put myself there. I love New York City. And so I try to get there as much as possible. But
Mhm.
yes, I am often in places where there's, if you mean by city life, a little bit more hustle and bustle. Absolutely.
Okay, oh, that's perfect because I think that leads into my next question as to say, how do you keep confidence in the hustle and bustle of city life? Because I understand that, when you wake up in the morning, if you're not consciously putting an effort into your morning routine, you just tend to like rush it through. So if I'm busy walking down the city streets and I'm rushing to get to work, is there anything that I can do in my mind to keep that kind of confidence?
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah.
It sounds like such a simple thing that's to say, and that's not doable. That's the answer
Mhm,
and the pushback I get. That's not possible. I can't slow down. People who are rushing significantly are much less effective. And so, a very short slowdown, a break to be present and calm down will make everything you do after that much more effective. Now, of course, there are certain situations. If you're in an emergency situation, you're not going to slow down, right? So we're not talking about something like that. And I think what you're talking about is, somebody gets off their routine and they're rushed and they've got so much to do, and they've got this mind chatter, and they're moving and switch tasking, moving from task to task, throwing things around, trying to get where they're going, and they buy into the fact that they will get so much more done, and they will prove their worth if they move with great hustle. And there is a difference between moving fast and effectively and being very erratic and busy like. And so I want people to take a moment. All right, I'm feeling erratic. I can feel it in my body. I know that I'm behind. Because that's what people say. I'm behind schedule. And that's
mhm.
something that really impacts people's ability to feel confident. Take a moment, step back, and prioritize. What do I need to do immediately in order to get to the next step that I need to take? I often say you are much better off going slow, because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. When you are erratic, moving fast erratically, you make more mistakes, which requires you to double back and go back and correct the time. So it appears you're moving faster than others, but you are not. So I would say, and the thought process of slow is smooth and smooth is fast is actually a very confident thought and a very confident way of being. It also helps you look calm, cool, and collected, which gives off the energy of confidence so others have more faith in you and your ability to execute, even when things are going wrong.
Hmm. I really like that. I really, really like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're always in a rush to be quote unquote efficient with
Yeah.
what we do, and sometimes being efficient really doesn't get the work done as much as what is it? Like quality over quantity?
Absolutely, quality over quantity. And I think I want to drive home that point, especially in light of, I had a YouTube question just the other day,
Mhm.
and it was, how do I look confident? And I think that that's one of the big problems. So many people are busy trying to look confident that they actually come off not looking confident. So when someone is in a rush, and think about it, watch someone who's in a crisis situation who looks panicked, and they might be getting some things done. They're usually somewhat effective at handling some of a problem or some form of chaos. But we always are attracted and drawn to the person who is calm and cool and collected in the face of something chaotic. And I want to say too that sometimes, like, chaotic isn't always a catastrophe. Sometimes chaos is a great opportunity that you're not sure you can take advantage of. And
Mm,
so there's this opportunity for us. We have to scramble. And that kind of energy, again, gives off not only an energy to others that you're not confident, but it's sending an internal message to you that if I don't rush, if I don't start scattering and throwing spaghetti at the wall, somehow I won't get it done. And that really starts to lay tracks or wiring for yourself that makes you feel less confident over time. So I would be really focused on being calm. A calm, well person is more likely to develop real, authentic confidence over time.
Interesting. All right, to our viewers, you've heard it. Be calm, cool, and collected, and you will make that confidence. It always reminds me of those videos again, like as you said on YouTube, where it's like how to be charismatic, how to be confident, how to mirror this person that you see on TV, and really, it doesn't drive home the habits that you're talking about, as to saying this is the kind of character I need to develop in order to have that kind of confidence. Um, so we have about 10 minutes left here, and I
Sure.
just want to jump into the chapter that you wrote. So,
Yeah.
why did you decide to write a chapter and be in a book?
I love how you brought that up. A huge part of the reason I decided to be in this particular book, Wellness Wisdom, like also, what does confidence have to do with wellness? And it really goes back to what I just said. If you
Mhm.
can access a real level of calm, that's a building block for you to develop real confidence. So many people, and listen, I was taught this, 25 years ago, I was taught fake it till you make it, and that will help you be confident. And I actually don't believe that's true. I think it can work and it does work for some people some of the time, but it is not a sustainable method
Mm.
towards reaching confidence. And I think bringing about the awareness that calming our anxieties, calming our fears is the first path, and being truly well at a biological level that allows yourself to calm your thoughts down, that's critical to developing that authentic confidence. It's critical to executing on those habits, like you said, which brings you to the real character of being confident. Not
Mhm.
not a fake, not someone who's just mirroring someone else's version of what confidence looks like.
Yeah. Agreed with you. I agree with you. Everything here is just like so well put and well said. Definitely have heard the phrase fake it till you make it so many times. And like you said, it's not sustainable because you can mirror the actions, but if you don't believe in it and you're not practicing it, then you really are just faking it for a moment's notice.
Yeah, and what happens is too, you give off the energy that you're a
Yeah.
fake. You do. People can smell it. They don't know quite why. They're like, "Oh, they look the part, but there's something off." And when something's off, it's usually because they don't believe it at a visceral level. And
Mhm.
so, and I teach people how to do that. How do you build that early on, too? Like, how do you build that brick by brick? I think people are encouraged to show up like as if they have 30 years worth of experience behind them. And that's not necessary. You can be authentically confident at every stage of the game if you
Mhm.
can focus on that wellness piece.
I love that. And again, what a great way to be in this book as it is titled Wellness Wisdom
Yes.
Volume 2. Do you plan to write any more books or any more chapters in the future? Like, what's next for you, Jen?
Yes. Well, what is next for me is it's a book about trusting yourself. I believe that confidence is is also very deeply rooted in our self-trust. And so I am writing my own book. I have already started it. It's a few chapters in, and it is a book about self-trust and how you can rely on your intuition and your belief in yourself to get ahead in, again, a sustainable way. For me, I'm not about helping a one hit wonder or somebody who just happens to do one thing well one time that they hang their hat on forever. I'm here to help people constantly expand in their growth and constantly work on expanding their confidence and their mastery in multiple areas so they can achieve what I call full-bodied success. It's success that feels good in your heart, in your soul, and it helps you really move forward.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait for it to come out as well, especially this book too. So, Jen, I guess one of my last questions would be for you is, as a bold fire CEO, do you have a dream target audience or like a group of people that you really want to work with and you haven't been able to tap into it just yet?
Oh, I don't know if it's people that I haven't been able to tap into. I'm just always so curious and interested about those people who are playing a really big game. They're seasoned entrepreneurs, they're executives that have something on their heart that's, and they feel somewhat held back in some way, and it's a little bit of lacking confidence to go do things that are on their heart. And I am a master at going in and helping unblock them using mind and body tools, and then also using many other even business strategies to help them get what they really want and to help them get out of their own way. Very often what's holding us back is not our circumstances and not other people. It's really stuff that we have going on inside of us. And when we can clear that away and again access a really deep sense of self-trust and confidence, we're able to go for those bigger dreams that we have that we hold on our heart.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. I really, really love that. Thank you so much, Jen.
Thank
Um, with all of this greatness and all of this kind of kindness and compassion and just obviously confidence itself, where can people find you? How can we reach out to you?
Oh, you can find me in a couple of places. I am on Instagram at jengrosso.co. You can also find me on LinkedIn. And you can, if you'd like to get a little bit more of me inside, I have a free Facebook group called The Lab for Mind, Body, and Business Breakthroughs. And we talk about all of the ways to get unblocked and get ahead and access your confidence in a well-being informed way. I'd love for people to find me in those areas.
Amazing. You heard her, folks. All right. Thank you so much, Jen. And we are so excited to have this new book coming out for you, as well as your own book in belief and self trust for Wellness Wisdom. It will be out this December, and we're going to be providing more information on APSO, and we'll be giving more information to Jen a little bit later on because the book is ready and we're ready to go. So once we get all of that in, be sure to pre-order, get your copies. Honestly, it's a really nice Christmas gift. So if you're looking for a holiday gift, this is it.
So many people will be using that January time to put all of the amazing, they can use it to put all of the amazing authors and what they have to offer to make 2023 phenomenal for them. It's a great book for Christmas.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for joining me here on our Wellness Wisdom Volume 2 series. Thank you again for the conversation. Thank you to our audience who has watched and commented. And we'll see you next time on APSO, Awesome People Shaping Our World. Remember, you're awesome and you can make the world a better place. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.